Hey guys, this is Otakuverse, and we'll be talking about Cyberpunk edgerunners.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners is an anime based in Night City, overran by the rich, corrupted, and cyberpunks who are criminals that have cyber implants. Arasaka and Miltech are the main producers of military grade implants. Our main protagonist, David, is poor, on the verge of losing everything. Then he decides to break the law, become an edgerunner, deciding to team up with a mercenary group called Cyberpunks.
Alright, guys, so we're gonna get right into this show. So basically, David is going to an Araska high school. It's pretty much a tech school, but he doesn't really care for the schooling. He's not dressed properly. Pretty much just like not caring for this high school.
Well, his
Um,
family can't afford it on top of that, or his mom, because his dad is not in the picture.
yeah, his dad's nowhere to be seen. Um, but pretty
And
much. Uh,
the students hate him because they think he's corrupting their school because he's poor. And I don't know, he's a straight A student though.
he's pretty smart, yeah. But yeah, nobody likes him. So like this Katsuyo guy, I think he'll be like we'll call him the class bully. Pretty much confronts him after school because David like put in like a off-brand chip in his head at the school. So like they kind
It,
of like he fried the servers pretty
it was an
much.
update that they couldn't afford, so then he had Doc, who will come into play later. He had Doc give him an off brand update, which basically fried their whole school system.
Yep. So Katsuyo confronts this guy. And then like what I thought was cool was like since everything is so cyber tech, what this Katsuyo guy did was like pretty much just install a karate chip into his head, and he started whooping David's ass. He was laying the hands on him.
Really
Um,
fast too. It was pretty sweet, and it just like gives a glimpse of what is more to come in the show. And then so on the way back home from the talk with the principal, they're on the highway. There is two different gangs that pull up beside them, and they clash and cause a car accident. David's mom, Maria, dies, and or the car flips. David's mom dies, leaves him with the um what is it?
this
Yeah, Sandest.
Sandistan.
Yeah, the
I don't even
Sandavishtan,
know how to say it. It's such a weird word.
and
They call it Sandy in the show, so I think we'll
yeah,
stick with Sandy.
gives him the Sandy, and then David ends up installing it because he's so upset that his mom died and that he's just getting pushed around. He has no money for no implants. So then guess who he goes to? Doctor.
So what I feel like the Doc, he's like such a cool, unique character because like he has no shame. He's literally using this, not safe to say machine, giving himself the whirl. You catch my drift. David busts through. He gets this implant, and what I've seen is they don't really use gas. It's all raw. His back is cut open. The sandy is plugged into his back. Absolutely painful stuff.
And he just bites the bar.
Spice the bar sweating. Um, so after he gets the implant installed, he's a real bad boy now. So he goes to school, confronts Katsuyo. He confronts Katsuyo, and then pretty much just uses his ability, which pretty much freezes time. He can do whatever he wants. So like, freezes time, hits him with the one hit. Katsuyo, no idea what happened, just gets messed up.
And then the like administrator or principal sees this and they're working with Arasaka, and they notice that he's using the Sandy and that they want to use him for their prototype of something that we will talk about in later down this episode. But then he meets Lucy on a train because she was trying to rob him for his chip, and he notices that he's stealing all the other chips, but he uses the Sandy to stop her, and then they team up. She uses him to steal chips, and then at the end of the night, he's still begging for more work because he wants more money. But then they go back to Lucy's house, and they start talking. Getting funky, right? Not really, but then they have this like implant thing that takes them to the moon, and it was really cool because it was like they're actually there. I forget what they called it.
It's like a real life VR. I forgot what it's called, but basically they feel like do they feel like they're there? Because inside she was like she had to turn down the sun volume because like it could burn or would feel like he was getting burned, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Take it away.
But anyways, yeah, after that, Lucy pretty much sets him up. They meet. The Cyberpunk gang pulls up basically. They start questioning him about why he has the Sandy. The big guy named Maine, he's all cybered out, but he was really wanting this. So, but he obviously couldn't receive it because Maria, we found out, what's his name? Maria?
Yeah, Maria Martinez.
Yeah, Maria Martinez, David's mom, was actually working with the Cyberpunk, supplying them with cyber tech, and she got her hands on the Sandy, which is actually high-tech military grade equipment. So they were like, we're gonna rip it off of you, man, we're just gonna take it. But David says, hey, I'll work for you guys, I'll show you guys how to use this thing. So they're like, all right, we'll give you a shot. And then pretty much just works with the cyberpunks. So we get like a little montage. I guess compilation montage of like them getting close, developing like a bond. David gets a little jealous because Pillar is like kind of like flirting. I don't know what relationship they had going on. I don't think Lucy liked it, but
yeah, Lucy didn't.
Pretty much
like
was just flirting with Lucy. David's like, man, what the heck? But nothing really happens until like a certain thing comes up, and Guru, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so they are on the dock, I believe, going to go do a job, or they just got done with the job, and there's this guy on a shipping container taking a pee into a barrel, and it's annoying Pillar. So what does Pillar decide to do? I have to handle this, right? Because they're badasses. He calls him out. Little does he know, this dude has cyber psychosis. Pops him right in the dome piece, and then a couple of them almost died actually, but then what's his name? David uses his Sandy, because he got froze first of all. Then Maine kicked him. And then he used his Sandy to sneak up on this dude. He shot him in the head. But what do you know? Dude doesn't die. And then David almost dies, but Rebecca, I believe, shoots him with a missile. Or it might have been Maine. I'm going to double check that. You can edit that out. Whatever. And then fast forward. They get this job from Faraday, and they have to capture Kurosaki Jimmy, who makes like snuff films, and he's super popular, these really weird films, and they are in a parking garage. David approaches him, but he sets off like this EMP, steals David, and the others are all confused, not know what's going on, and then they go after him.
Yeah, so pretty much, Kurosaki, makes so he, pretty much makes films from people who go into cyber psychosis. So, like, I seen the videotapes. There's like 27. He was starting another one. So pretty much just a bunch of series. I'm assuming of different materials that like different cyber stuff, cyber tech that make somebody go cyber psychosis. So
Yeah, he forces them to watch the videos, which causes them to have cyberpsychosis after we're looking at it so many times.
yeah, pretty much. So David gets captured. They actually come and save him. He was like being tortured with the videos, which I thought was like pretty cool because like it made him feel like he was actually there. Because in the beginning, it was some person going through cyberpsychosis. They introduced him in the first episode, pretty much just destroying these cops. He got that footage, made David watch, but think he was actually there, right? So David's pretty much just getting mentally brain fucked. They come save him.
Use
And then
Kurosaki
they capture.
as
Yeah.
a hostage.
They take Kurosaki as hostage, and then who is Arasaka
Tanaka.
Arasaka. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tanaka.
Arasaka.
They basically just capture him or they try to capture him. But he's kind of teched out too, so he shoots like needles, kills Kurosaki. And they're like, well, shit, he's dead. Can't get a lot of information from this guy. And then pretty much it leads into bleeds into like Maine.
No, they capture Tanaka, and then they try to get into his brain, but Kiwi, I got beat up by Maine, who's going through cyberpsychosis, but just the beginning stages, and nobody knew. So she was knocked out of commission. Then we had Lucy deep dive on him, and she found some stuff, but David was supposed to keep him under, and then Tanaka talks him, like tries to sweet talk him to join the Arasaka, blah blah blah, and then boom, he like kills himself, and Lucy almost died also because that dude wasn't supposed to be awake while she was deep diving. And then fast forward, he dies, then the medical team shows up. Depending on what status you are with them, they'll send more people, less people, get there faster or whatever. And then Maine goes cyberpsychosis. Boom, loses his snuff, bro. And then the cyberpsychosis team shows up to kill him, but Maine just goes apeshit, kills everybody, including Dorio, which is basically his girlfriend. And she was, trying to save him and whatnot.
Yeah, I actually liked Dorio. She was a very buff
bitch,
woman.
dude.
She was pretty bad. Yeah, she dies, and then actually I'm assuming David snaps Maine out of cyberpsychosis, because when Maine's going through his cyberpsychosis, he sees like the desert or like the outside of the city, night city, but he's able to see David. So I'm assuming David like kind of snapped them out of it. But we get this sad scene. Maine pretty much blows up himself and all of the Max Miltech people. Like pretty much people who are supposed to take out people who are cyberpsychosis. He takes them out with him. David is like very, very hurt. He's like, this changes David into like what we get. I'm gonna say it's a part 2 of David, because he gets much more older, much more teched out. He's basically a robot. I'm assuming he's a robot. His whole body is tech. What do you think of that, Gru?
And he thinks he's special also, but because he has like an immunity to being chromed out, but then later we'll see it doesn't work very well. And
Yeah.
yeah, it basically fast forwarded like a year or so, and David is older, obviously. And then we see his fully cybernetic body, but they get a new job. They introduce what's his name, Julio. He's super excited to go on this job. Blah blah blah. The job is coming to an end. Julio blows up, and it
So
was pretty
Julio
funny.
was so happy that he was like skipping down the hallway. I wasn't expecting it. All of a sudden, he steps in like a line bomb. So like step over the
Trip
line,
mine.
explode. Yeah, trip mine blows up. Boom, that done. People are like, oh, Julio, you did it again. It was a pretty funny scene.
They were all expecting it because he was so green, didn't know what was going on, just wanted to shoot stuff. But you know, people like that, always die.
True.
But then, so
Um. Yeah.
basically,
Go on.
Lucy is trying to cover up what she found in Tanaka's head because she finds out that David is wanted by Arasaka for testing their new cyber skeleton, exoskeleton thing, and she tries to cover it up. Then eventually gets set up by Kiwi and Faraday. What do you
Yeah.
know?
So they set him up. So basically, Faraday gives him a job, but then they offer. So they knew, Arasaka knew that somebody was like deep diving into their tech. So Arasaka asks Faraday to like, hey, find this person that is jumping in here. We want him dead, not dead, but like alive or dead, basically a bounty. And Faraday, he's all about that green. He wants that money. So he knows exactly who did it. So he gets Lucy, captures her, and then gives but Arasaka also wants to try to like get David into this cyber skeleton to see how it goes. So like he pretty much has two jobs and he does them both very well, I think. As like a side villain, he like for planning, he's very good. So he captures Lucy, sends David and the gang on this mission. They team up with this other gang. I'm assuming they weren't part of it. They all die except for the main group, of course.
Well,
Um,
Faraday hired a diversion tactic, but he obviously lied to them so that they would be a diversion.
yeah.
And so then they split up the Miltech people with the exoskeleton. Basically, set up David. Kiwi did set up David to get into the exoskeleton, and they also hacked Lucy's voice to make David want to go into it even more.
So I like Cyberpunk because like so how in the real world today AI is becoming a problem with voices. I like how in the show they're able to just like plug in like to your head and then like able to like say hey something something as your voice. I thought that was like a cool thing to like convince David to like hey come save me, get in that skeleton bitch. And then he does, he gets in there and then finds out oh I'm screwed because I think the suit once you're in there you can't escape it. And
No, it like
I think
took his limbs away, and then he became like
yeah,
one with the suit.
so he comes along with the suit, but then before I think I didn't talk about this, but he got a bunch of syringes to not go into cyberpsychosis. From
Yeah,
Doc, pretty much chokes Doc out.
yeah, he started to go into cyberpsychosis, and then they started noticing. He goes to Doc. Doc hooks him up with like 90 times the original dosage, but it stacks. So you use one, it's not going to be as effective if you use another one.
Pretty
And
much.
then he gets stuck into the suit, goes ape, kills the Miltech people. They weren't expecting it. Then they find Faraday because they knew they had Lucy, because Kiwi, believe it or not, this two-timing little beach, calls them, gives them the tracking location of Faraday. They go after him, save Lucy, but then they get to the top of the Arasaka Tower where they find Atom Smasher. Atom
Oh boy.
Smasher is a legend, basically.
He's pretty much goated. He is. I'm assuming from what they hinted at, he is the only person that he seems very conscious of what he's doing. So I'm assuming that he is like the only person so far to like get fully teched out in cyber stuff, and not go cyber psychosis because he seemed very sane. But so this is where shit gets real, guys. So Kiwi like actually changed heart a little bit. I'm assuming because of Lucy. Maybe because she got shot, so like she was dying, so she felt bad, which kind of sucks. Kiwi still was like a traitor if she didn't get well.
Fuck that bitch, dude. Fuck
Yeah,
that bitch.
I feel like she would have. She's sad because she got shot. So Kiwi ends up dying. David's fighting Atom Smasher. Ooh, it was like actually a good fight because they both had Sandy on, so like everybody was frozen, but they were just like zooming all over the place. Faraday dies, gets exploded. I was almost thinking he was gonna escape because like he got his legs blown off, he was thrown off the tower, he was living, he was fine, but then he dies. Rebecca dies. That was she gets squashed. The show has like a lot of unexpected deaths or like very sudden deaths. Rebecca gets smashed. And pretty much just at the end, it was like
Got
very
smashed by Atom Smasher, by the way. So he
Yeah.
did his job. He smashed.
he smashed. So pretty much, David stood no chance. He pretty much tried to distract as long as he could for Lucy, and this cowboy guy. I forget his name. Do you know his name?
Yeah, it is Falco.
Falco. That's his name. David was pretty much just distraction for them to escape. Adam Smasher kills him, but David was fully psychotic. He's when he put on the cyber skeleton, he was done. The only thing keeping him going was the syringes, which weren't even helping. He was taking them, but he was still like insane, pretty much. And at the end, he was like crazy, pretty much. Adam shot him. He's dead.
But Lucy and Falco were the only ones to survive and escape because of David. And then, we see everything when it's all settled down. We actually didn't see what happened to Falco, but Lucy finally did her dream of going to the moon.
Yep. It was very sad ending. Also a very quick one. It was like, dang.
It was good for what it was, though.
It was
honestly.
good for what it was.
10 episodes, and it was that good. I mean, imagine if they did 24 or
10
something.
episodes, you're not getting a whole lot, because I'm assuming they planned 10 episodes. They crammed it in because it's a very fast-paced anime. If you miss something, you're gonna be confused. But I think it was still good, even though it was pretty fast. I like the character designs, the art. Ooh, the art was pretty good.
Very
I like
different.
The art.
It was pretty good too.
It was very different, very stylish. The death scenes in the beginning, like the cops being killed, it's just gore. You don't see a lot of guts.
They go crazy, dude. Yeah, you do.
See
you see
eyeballs
brains.
hanging.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
see
Well,
all
well,
sorts
you
of
get a
stuff.
lot of blood splatters. I noticed that, just a lot of,
Right. Yeah, because their weapons basically disintegrate them.
Yeah. I wished Dorio didn't die. Dorio was actually my favorite Cyberpunk. I really digged Dorio. It was very sad to see her go.
Really, I would say mine was Lucy, but that's because she was a hacker. And she was super fast and went crazy. I don't know. She was just a good character, good main character.
Yeah.
And then
I
David
also
started hitting that. What? Oh, David. Got some
David.
competition, David.
So what I liked about the show is the environment too. So Night City is based, I'm assuming, all around, as far as you can go to maybe another city, but it's pretty much just desert. From what I got, Arasaka before, some dude hacked the WWW, the World Wide Web. Um, World came to shambles. Arceka stepped up, I believe, made new internet. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, but then they're trying to get into the old internet, but AI keeps attacking them, and viruses and stuff. Also, there's a lot of sex in this, so if you guys like sex,
Ooh.
there you go.
If you like some big old tatas, you're able to see that in this show. This show is rated 18 plus. So don't watch these kids. Don't watch this show, kiddos. Mm-mm.
Or do. Just say
Or
you're
do.
18.
Yeah.
But not to us, though. Don't say that to us.
Don't say that to us, please.
We need to know if you're 18. Just kidding.
But for the show, for 10 episodes, it was pretty good. I wish there was more, though.
Same. Honestly, though, I'd rate it like a good 7.5, 8.
I'll
Pretty
give it a
good.
7.5 as well. It was good. I didn't really. I'm gonna be honest, Gru. I did not like David as like a protagonist. He was good, but I don't know. He was a little boring at some point.
I felt like he did it for like no reason. Like, I don't know. And then he like went fully cyber. Like, that's, I don't know. That part when he went fully cyber, I don't think he should have done it. Because I felt like
I didn't like his look.
if they didn't make him fully cyber, he would have probably just been just fine. Like then he could have done his dream like he wanted to with Lucy and him going to the moon, but that doesn't happen. And so he's basically just committing crime just to commit crime. Because I don't know, it's his purpose really isn't a purpose.
So his mom set him up to go to this nice school, and even when she was like, before she died, she was like, I just want you to succeed. She was setting up for success, working this hard. She dies. He does not care. So he still does crime. Maine dies. So now, and then I guess David was like, you know what? I gotta do this for Maine, so I gotta become fully cyber. So he's pretty much just going off of other people. He said it himself in the show that his mother and Maine, like, he took their dreams, which I don't really get. It's
He
kind of
didn't
like
really. He was just kind of fucking, I don't know.
he wasn't my favorite protagonist of the show, but it was good for what it was.
Right. I felt like Lucy was more of the main character.
True.
I don't know.
They
It
made
was like
Lucy the
she
main
was like the
character.
main character, but not the main character at the same time.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if they have
so
a word
yeah.
for that, but
No, David was alright though, I guess. I did like how when he was going cyber psychosis, he was like mentioning his mom. I thought that was a very nice touch to his craziness. But But yeah, we haven't played the games yet. Maybe we should play the games, huh?
yeah, I'm down to play the games for sure. Might even stream it. Who knows? TTV/Gruski, TTV/Slizzy2314.
Yes.
Gotta get that plug in, boys.
Yes. But I think that'll be it for this review. We're gonna give it a 7.5. Flash it on the screen. 7.5.
7.5. Just like my wiener.
It was good. It's not top tier. I wouldn't say it's top tier, but for what it was, 10 episodes, it was good. I think a 7.5 is very solid.
I agree, especially for what it was. Quick 10 episodes. You get your money's worth, I would say, or your time's worth. Honestly,
You get your time's worth.
definitely worth the 10 episodes. Just wish it was longer, and I don't know. The plot was good, but I wish it was a little different. But it's like that for a reason, and that's probably what makes it as good as it is.
Yes.
If it was changed, it probably wouldn't have blown up like it has.
Yeah. So hopefully by the time I'm done editing this video, I'll have something cool. But anyways, I think we're gonna cut it here, guys. Thanks for watching this review.
Goodbye!
Edgerunners.